Hey guys, it's Dom and welcome to a tutorial on how I made this farm right here in Hypixel Skyblock. Now a little bit of a disclaimer for this farm. I've gotten accused of cheating multiple times just because I'm like watching YouTube, and then if I don't respond in like 2 minutes I get like absolutely demolished. But it's also a redstone farm, so if you're not like wanting to build redstone, then it's not for you, but it's really simple to follow along with. Just follow along the tutorial and you should be alright. But yeah, like I said, be careful with this farm. Do not cheat with it. I know it's very easy to, you only have to hold 2 buttons down, but I do not recommend cheating. You can get banned, you can get wiped, and all of your progress can easily get lost, and I don't think that's a good idea. This farm will support both pumpkins and melons, obviously, because it's a stem farm, so you can do either one depending on which one you want to farm. And with that being said, let's get into the tutorial bit. Now this right here is the inventory that you will need to have. This is all the redstone pieces that will be a part of the redstone components. I will say that you do need to know which type of pressure plate you want to use. If you want to use an iron or a gold pressure plate, it will not work, because in the April 1st patch there was a patch that would make it so that you can't step on iron or golden pressure plates unless you like teleport on top of them or whatever. So you need to do a wooden or a stone pressure plate. I personally will do a stone pressure plate because the wooden one can activate by you dropping items on it, but it's really up to you and the aesthetic that you want to make. So what we're going to start off with is a piece of land that goes 2 blocks wide, goes down 1 block, and then that bottom one will go 4 wide. You'll continue this for each layer all the way up. You can set it up with a builder's wand like so. All you need to do is to make sure that each layer has 2 blocks in between so that you can stand here, and then you will just have this go all the way up to your island and then just builder's wand across. So I'm gonna place the rest of these and I will see you in a bit. So I just placed a few layers here, but you will want to go right ahead and plant and add light to your farm. It's not necessary for you to do this right away, but I believe that it'll be nicer and easier to work with later on when you have to place water and like place the redstone and stuff. So I just like to get the planting and light all out of the way. So you'll have it planted like this, and then on top of this far back stem you will light it with this, and as long as you have a day saver on your island, this side you will not need to worry about, even with the water adding a little bit of shade to it. So once you have that place, you're going to move on to the redstone bit. One thing that I will tell you is that you do want to have a wall for either side that goes all the way up and down your farm. On this side, what I would do is just place like a little bit of a gap here, and then have that small area so that when you run through it that you fall. And then at the bottom here, place a block, have it so that you can walk through, and then place your like teleport pad there, just because that when you land on it, sometimes it doesn't like to teleport you, at least in my experience. So when you walk into it, it should be better. Then from there we will start with the drop chute that you will be with originally. Don't break the bottom layer, and don't like mess with redstone anywhere here just yet. I will show you what to do there, but you do want to place your fence gates in a tower. I don't know if you can place these regularly like in the air in a newer version, but all I know is that in 1.8 you have to make an entire tower and then destroy the ones in between. So then once you have that, in order for you not to get stuck, because standing on a fence gate is 1.5 blocks tall, what you want to do is place a slab on this side of the fence gate, so that when you walk through, you can go through. On this bottom layer, on the second to bottom layer, it doesn't really matter because you're not going to be landing on a fence gate, but I just like to keep it like that for the sake of symmetry. And Then you will place your iron doors so that you will have a layer that goes like this, all in a line. Then 2 blocks to the right of this, you will need to have a full block. You can just do this with the dirt that's already here, or replace it with one of your building blocks. I'm just going to do it with a stone brick, place my stone pressure plates, and then add a piece at the bottom which will reset all of the layers back to their original state. So this will be 2 blocks from the right again, and it'll place right here, place a stone pressure plate, and then you will go ahead and place a redstone torch tower that will go from the bottom of your farm all the way to the top of it, whether that be to build limit or however tall you want it to be. So this is where you should be at, and then for right away we want to add our droppers. The droppers will be facing towards the redstone tower on the block where the pressure plate is, and then on the redstone torch tower you will place more facing into the other droppers, so that you have 2 droppers facing into each other, and then you will place an item into these droppers here. So this will need to be repeated for each and every layer vertically, and you will need to have an item in this dropper here. It doesn't exactly matter which dropper it is if you don't really care. You just need to make sure that you go through and press onto this pressure plate, which will send a redstone signal through all of these droppers and send the item back over here. Next, what you want to do is place your full blocks here and here. This all doesn't have to be a full block. This could be a slab down here. These could be slabs. Well, this one has to be a full block, but the other ones could be slabs. But all you have to do is place these blocks like so, and then you will use a redstone comparator, a redstone torch, and a piece of redstone dust so that you can receive power from the item in the dropper, send a redstone signal to the iron door, and send another redstone signal to the fence gate. So you'll repeat that for every layer, and that's about the entirety of the redstone. Now the final part, which isn't a huge big of a deal, is water. Obviously you don't have to place this in Skyblock because they just let you have farmland for no reason to have no water. But if you do want to stop yourself from needing to build more and more layers, you will need to place water, and this is basically what it'll look like. Now I will say though, if you do want to place 2 layers, like 2 layers thick, and then you have let's say farmland like here, so like this right here would just be right here. On the top layer you will want to place a water bucket right here so that all of these will be saturated with water, and then these ones over here will also be saturated, and then you can use this row right here which will also saturate all this. It's just that right here these ones wouldn't be growing very fast, so just want to let that go out there. And finally, to end off this tutorial, I'm gonna show you guys how I would farm this farm. Now if you want to make the farm just break 2 blocks, like you have all this redstone stuff in here where you're walking in this block and then just breaking these 2, you will need a speed of 232. And that's not what I built here. I built where you would be breaking 3. This one right here, and then these 2 down here. So you'll need a specific angle and also a speed of 155. Now let me show you the angle real quick. Place the end portal frame or the teleport pad how it would be. This normally would teleport you to the middle of the block, and then this is roughly the middle, it's fine. And then you will need to make sure that your angle is 180 right here, and this angle right here will need to be 25, almost exactly on the dot. It doesn't need to be perfect necessarily, but you do want it to be as close as possible because you're very much on the edge of the 3 blocks. So this first block where you're on top of the fence, you won't be able to break much, because you'll be above all of the pumpkins. But then once you land here and then you walk all the way through, you will be exactly in line to break 3 pumpkins. So if we get back to the 25 angle and then back here, all you would need to do in this farm is hold D and hold left click, and then as you're moving, as long as you have efficiency 5 and 155 speed, you'll be braking as efficient as possible for this farm that allows. Then as you hold left click, you'll be breaking 3 of these pumpkins at a time, and then once you fall, you'll land, hit this teleport pad, it'll teleport you back up, and then automatically with the redstone it'll send you to the next layer. You can go through again, teleport you back, you fall. The falling does take longer and longer each time, but eventually once you get to the bottom it'll reset, and then once you go over this right here, all of them open again so that you can restart your farm. So that was how I built my farm in Hypixel Skyblock. It's again up to you how you want to place your pressure plates, and I want to say huge thank you to Sweet Booty and Light Exists, who also goes by just Light on YouTube. Light helped me with the design for making you break 3 pumpkins at once, and Sweet just gave me a quick reference on how I would make the redstone. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you in whatever way it could, and with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.